The way I explain it to people is that recruiters are looking for three things. They want the answer to three questions. The first question is, can you do the job? So have you got the competencies, have you got the skills, have you got the experience? But that in itself isn't necessarily enough. The other two questions are, will you do the job? Will you be motivated? Will you have the drive and enthusiasm to do the job? And the third question is, will you fit in? So will you be the right personality to fit into the team? So usually most jobs involve working with other people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And personality is crucial to that, isn't it?
Absolutely. Often you'll be recruiting into an area that's going to be a small department or a company that's got a very strong ethos or a very strong image for itself. And it looks at people that will work in that image and will reflect that well. You've got to find the right fit and personality. Like you say, it's not all about qualifications and skills and that sort of thing. That'll get you into the first door. After that, you've got to be the right personality. Not necessarily talk the talk, but you've got to be looking for the same things that they offer. So if you're going to be going to a full-time job, people are going to be looking for a candidate that's going to be there for a while. They don't have to refill the job and find retrain people and stuff. It's costing money. They want someone who's going to be around for a while, and so it's not just going to be about skills.
Yeah. And what in a virtual world can candidates do to demonstrate that? So using the media.
Yeah, there's the traditional methods like a CV library and sort of email applications and applying for jobs, things like that through job boards. Also, this is LinkedIn we spoke about, and I've seen more people now, especially if they're working on a consultant basis, which more people are tending to do because of the sort of lack of full-time permanent jobs. Might be maybe redundant or something like that. Are building their own websites or sort of having an attachment so they can send off, which is like an e-profile which they've made themselves. So it wouldn't be something that I would send over to an employer, but it would be something that would give me a good idea about this sort of person. The more that I'll know about this person, the more I'll know about a potential candidate of my own is going to sort of put my mind at ease. So where they would work and where they have worked, what areas of the country. It's all about information. Essentially, we're gathering information and selling it on and to put into the job. So there's a lot of options online now that can sort of help that. I suppose at the moment, until something else comes along that's going to be the new format of applying for a job, LinkedIn's going to be the sort of biggest contender there, because it's so tailored specifically to your career.
Yeah.
It's also something that people can enjoy putting and building as well. It's a bit like Facebook, which people get on for enjoyment, but it helps with their own career as well. And so it's like building an online identity.
Do you think there's a generational difference there? Do you think younger people would be more amenable to that because it's more familiar to them as a medium?
Yeah, I imagine so. I suppose once you've had a Facebook or a MySpace, which younger people would do, it's just creating that gain. So you'll already understand what to do and how to use it. But I do know a lot of people that are towards retirement age that are on LinkedIn and use it, and now to use it properly as well. I think the guy who's retired from full-time work that we occasionally place into temporary positions to fill gaps and stuff like that, and he gets a lot of work through LinkedIn. And I think within about 25 minutes of speaking to him on the phone, he found me on LinkedIn, added me, and And I've been able to say, okay, well, if I spoke to him, I've seen his CV, but now I can see a picture of him, and I've built this image in my head, and you know, it seems like he's more connected to me.
So it gives a more personal picture then.
Yeah, absolutely. I remembered him as well. Bearing in mind, I probably speak to a good 100 applicants a day, and managers on top of that as well from you know, my clients. I'll get a lot of conversations, and a lot of people call back and say, "Oh, hi, it's Dave, and we spoke last week," and I can't remember. It was a 5-minute conversation, and I spoke to 25 carpentry teachers that day.
Yeah. But it sounds like it's the people who make that effort to make contact, the ones that stick out in your mind.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going back to sort of online things. It's probably the easiest way you can keep in contact with your potential job. If you've got your LinkedIn up there, it's a way for people to find you, and that's essentially what you need to do if you're looking for a job. I suppose from a candidate's point of view, there should be 2 things going off. You should have these things out, so you put your feelers out. So you put your CV up on CV Library, and Twitter and your LinkedIn and things like that running. That allows people to find you. It's also, if you're going to be more proactive about it, a good way to find jobs yourself. And for an applicant who comes to a traditional route like an advert, I'll probably get 30 or 40 applicants like that. But if someone's found this from another route, it's more interesting for me because I think, well, they've obviously been actively looking for this work and sort of exploring different avenues and looking through that and say, so I know from the start that this candidate potentially is more serious about getting a job.